degrees. It's hot outside. It really is. I won the weather this morning too, by the way. It's Tuesday, 15th of April, and today, believe me, absolutely amazing show ahead of us. I'm so excited. I really, really am. But first of all, let me do this. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today we're going all the way over to New York to meet up with a young man by the name of Makeout Shinobi. And you know him, you really do. You've been asking for his music so much. Really, really impressed. I really am. So I tell you what, without further ado, I've got to say welcome along, say thank you for joining us, and believe me, why not become part of the family here at Galaxy? Really, we call it the noise. We do, simply because we don't call you an army or a fan or anything like that, but we hear you. We do. We get so many requests that you are loud, and we take notice, especially about Makeout Shinobi. We get so many requests. I can't go through a breakfast show these days without seeing his name at least once or twice. Fantastic. Here it is. Something real. You're right here at Galaxy. Great way to start a show.
Oh, that's so cool. This is super cool, man. I'm glad you guys are having me on.
No, we're not having you on. I tell you what, we'll give you stats as we go through this, and
Okay.
At the end of this, we'll make a little movie that you'll probably get tomorrow. Barbara
Nice.
put it into a movie. She'll probably take a few pickies. Have you ever been a cartoon before?
No, I haven't actually, but I've always wanted to be.
You might be now, to be honest. Barbara loves to make fun of me and turn me into a cartoon, so you never know. There might be a couple there with you in it as well.
Do you guys use AI?
I don't know which eye she uses.
Oh.
No.
Oh, sorry.
No,
by the way, I used to be a
we're
stand-up comedian.
We're not experienced in AI. We need some training.
Yeah, Barbara needs AI training. We'll take her out the back later and force feed her some.
It's really different. Yeah, it's very confusing.
Well,
sometimes.
I mean, hey, look, it's Elon Musk, isn't it?
Yeah, it's.
I mean, 13 kids later, no wonder it's confusing.
No wonder it's all over the top. It's hard for people to tell the difference between AI and real life these days. It's scary.
It kind of is, to be honest. If you have a look at some of the videos, they're almost bloody realistic. It really is.
Yeah.
So I really, really must stress to you, Shinobi, how humbled I am to meet you. I'm very, very fascinated with your work.
Thank you.
And believe me, 47 years as an engineer, not only as a front of house, but as a studio engineer, and I've had the privilege of working with some of the best bands in the world in some of the best recording studios as well. I hear music every day. I really do. And something about your music stood out. I wanted to know more about you. So hence we're doing the interview, and I really, really am very, very grateful for you to take our call.
I'm very interested in answering any questions you may have. I do appreciate you guys for having me on, so I am an open book today.
Okay, well, let me tell you, I'm like Jerry Springer. Nothing is pre-practice. I'll take something from what you say and we'll make a conversation around that, okay?
Okay, nice. I'm excited.
But there may be a chance I might throw some humor at you as well, so be prepared for that.
Be prepared. I'll try my best to keep up.
Okay. Where'd you go? Thank you guys. You're a bit slow this morning. I got to be honest with you. Today we're talking to Makeout Shinobi, coming all the way from New York City, and believe me, it's absolutely fantastic to have this young man, talented artist, and believe me, he's got a great future ahead of him right here with us this morning. Kia ora, welcome to Galaxy.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm live and direct from New York City. It's Makeout Shinobi.
It is an absolute honor to meet you. It really, really is. Now, believe me, I was saying to you that every now and I hear music every day, but every now and again something stands out that just makes me want to know more about you as an artist. So let's kick it off with something real. Tell me a little bit about this track.
So this record was pretty interesting in how it came about. Uh, and my engineer, who I work executively with, kind of like he's the only engineer I've been working with for the past 2 years. I have a very close relationship with him. We're working on this draft of something real, and I didn't really like it. I was in the studio freestyling and like coming up with what you hear of the lyrics. And I remember leaving the studio and telling him that I wasn't really into it. And then a few days later, he comes back to me with a completely different beat and with a completely different structure for the song, which is something real that you guys are listening to and hearing now. And I went from being like not impressed with my vocal performance or what I wanted from the song, being very, very in love with the record you guys hear today. Which I find interesting about music is I make a lot of songs, but I don't always appreciate them for what they are. Sometimes it takes a day or two or for someone else to look at it from a different perspective to make me like, oh, actually maybe that take was golden. Maybe that take was it. And that's kind of the story for something real.
Absolutely fantastic. As I said to you, I've been an engineer now for 40 something years. I really want to give away too much, but believe me, absolutely fantastic work on these particular tracks that we're about to play, especially something real. Now, how about giving a shout out for your recording studio?
Wow, so the recording studio that we record most of our music at it's called Pirate Studios. It's a studio that everyone kind of uses in New York because it's really cheap. And me and my engineer kind of we really we make gold out of what we have, but we always kind of say that we wish we were in better studios. But what you guys are listening to now is kind of the records that we make really with half of what I would say that other artists kind of have at their disposal. We just have our humble setup and we try to make it sound amazing.
Well, I think you've succeeded in that, to be very honest with you. You've got my attention for a start, if you know what I mean. So, absolutely fantastic. Now, a young lady called Raywin, coming out of Nebraska, is asking, Shinobi, as a fan, how do we get hold of you? Are you on Facebook? Are you an Xer? Are you a talker? But more importantly, do you respond?
What's the best way to get a hold of me and to keep up with me is the question.
Yeah.
I would say that I'm the most active on Instagram and I'm active on TikTok, but I will say I kind of live my entire life in a bit of obscurity. So my TikTok is you have to do a bit of digging to find it. But my Instagram is my artist name. In most platforms that you could imagine, it's just like Twitter. It's all just my artist name, so it's pretty easy to find if you're interested in finding it because I'm the only Makeout Shinobi everywhere on the internet. But I'm most active on Instagram. You'll see me post at like in the middle of the night at 4 a.m. because I never really sleep. So if you're interested in keeping up with my life, Instagram is probably the best way to stay in touch.
I got a young lady coming out of Sicily. Her name is Tracy. She's saying, where does Shinobi come into it? How do you come up with the name Shinobi? Where does that originate from?
Well, I'm a big fan of anime. I would say that the name was inspired by one of my favorite animes. A lot of people know it. It's called Naruto, and it was kind of just what actually happened was it was my Instagram handle, and it was right around the time where I released a song back when I was like 18 that garnered a lot of attention on SoundCloud. So I just felt like it was only right to just make my Instagram handle easy to find by just changing my SoundCloud name to Makeout Shinobi. And because it was something before that, long time fans would know that my name went through a couple changes before it was Makeout Shinobi. But yeah.
Yeah, I actually thought, to be very honest with you, you had a connection to Japan, and I was almost going to go, oh, hi, ogoshimasu, which means good morning. Basically, so you had me going, actually, and I love, love, love the connection and the name. Thank you for telling me, and the rest of everybody else as well. Moving on, TMZ. Tell me a little bit about this.
Wow, so TMZ is one of my favorite records, mostly because it represents kind of a turning point in my music sonically. A lot of what I was working on before TMZ was not necessarily like that. Um, and TMZ was it just the song itself, I named it TMZ because if you listen to the lyrics, it's a song about kind of it's like a song about the fallout of like stardom and honestly what it represents now in terms of like I would say when I started making music when I was 16, the beauty that I kind of may have seen in becoming like this world star I think that TMZ to me represents how I feel that it's changed so much, and it's become the first half of TMZ. If you listen to it, is very like um, inviting from the narrator standpoint, which is me as a songwriter. It's like an inviting way that I'm using my words. But on the second half of TMZ, it's more. I would say it's more. It's the only way I describe it is more aggressive. It's more. It goes from saying. I go from saying. Um, uh, Get backstage, girl, go put on a face. I forgot. I'm sorry, I forgot my own lyrics. But if you listen to the first half, it's a lot more inviting in the tone of the music, and the second half is a bit more dark and aggressive, and it's kind of represent that shift in your aspirations to be a star and kind of what it ends up becoming. And I feel like as an up and coming artist, I'm always kind of wary of that and what that means, um, and what it'll mean when I get my chance at stardom. So yeah.
Very, very cool. And I tell you what, 1,579 requests since we've been playing it, and I guarantee tomorrow it'll be more. You're right here at Galaxy, joined live by Makeout Shinobi. Here's TMZ. How you feeling, brother? You okay?
This is really fun. I appreciate you guys for having even questions to ask because I'm honestly my music comes from such a place of deep meditation. I appreciate anybody kind of having a question about what it means because I always dreamed of people kind of wondering what the fuck is going on with my music and what all these songs and what these words represent. And TMZ, I didn't really get to get into it while you had asked the question, but TMZ I was meant, and it's meant to be a very heartbreaking record when you listen to it, but not on the surface. On the surface, it's supposed to make you want to dance uncontrollably, but when you really listen to it, it's supposed to kind of be a little unnerving, and that's kind of something that I try to weave into all of my music. And if you listen really hard, I love to rap a bit of a bit of I can only describe it as a little bit of horror and kind of the beauty of the music. I love to sing. I love to use my voice in like a beautiful way, but what I'm actually singing about may not always be so beautiful. And TMZ is, yeah, I love that record for that. And a lot of my unreleased music is supposed to emulate the world space that I built TMZ from. So I'm excited to kind of put out some of these next records that I'm working on.
Very cool. Very cool. I got to let you know, and it doesn't happen often, but I listen to your music in my car, literally. Let me tell you, Barbara gets about 200 submissions of music a day, so only the best of the best gets past Barbara right from the start. She's very vicious with her red pen. Then it goes to production. Production and Barbara got to whittle it down because we can only do this so many times in a month. You know what I mean? Then the finished article goes before a board. There could be anything from 8 to 15 people in the board meeting at any one given time. And their only concern is our image, which I think is stupid because then they give it to me. I mean, look at me. I'm good for the image, right? I got a
right. You're
perfect face for radio. But instead of people influencing me on whether or not I want to do the interview, Barbara gives it to me on a USB device that I play in my car. And I absolutely have a kick-ass stereo in my car. So I've added literally Standing Still to my playlist.
Oh, I love Standing Still. I would love to talk about that record. I love Standing Still so much.
That's right. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and staff members are just flocking around the monitors right now, taking photos of you, my friend. They really are. And they've also been very excited about doing this interview today. They really have. Now, I was explaining to you, I play your music in my car, and, I hear music every day. When I first get the music, and I don't get any information at all, I don't get the title of the song and or the artist, just the bare roots music, and I'm sitting there listening to the music in my car. I do it for two reasons. First of all, nobody else can influence me on whether or not I want to do the interview. It's based on the music and the music alone, okay? Second reason is nobody else wants to drive with me. No, I'm not kidding. I'm really not kidding. I like to drive sideways.
You like to drive really fast.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Literally, right out the back of where we live, there is all of this forestry, and I know where they keep the keys to the fire brakes. Right? So I put the music in the car, turn up the stereo, plant the foot, and just drive sideways. You know what I mean? Brilliant fun. And Standing Still was literally the very first song that I ever heard of yours. I needed to pull over, literally rewind this, check it out, turn it up a little bit more. I actually did crack a cold one too, to be honest with you, and had a good listen to it. Ended up being part of my playlist in my car, and I absolutely just want to know, why the hell did I do that? What made me interested in this particular track?
I mean, I'm so glad you asked. So Standing Still, when we created the project and when we were deciding from all the songs that I had made, what songs would go on the project, Standing Still was meant to stand out the most. Standing Still was a personal favorite of mine, and me and my team, I make so much music that the bar is set so high for my team that like I love for them to say that they didn't like a record that I leave the studio with. Because I make so many records that we love and so many records that sometimes they're like, no, you're so like. So when Standing Still was finished, it was one that I really, really appreciated because I love alternative music, and it was meant to, it was meant to emulate some of my favorite older music. Like some of my favorite older music is like Queen and Led Zeppelin and like a lot of old rock music, and it was meant to feel something akin to that, maybe The Cure. Like it was, and the song is supposed to feel like this paranoia trip because I'm talking about time literally standing still, but it also represents kind of how like in a relationship you and someone else could try so hard to be together, but you could ultimately be just frozen and like, and it's a beautiful record to me, and it's supposed to represent kind of really, really, really what I want to be, what at least where I want to take my music sonically, and that's kind of like my dream music is music like Standing Still. But I love all the things that I make. But I appreciate you for that being the first song that you heard by me because I think that it's a record that a lot of people overlook, but for the people who like it, you definitely understand my like my headspace in terms of an artist.
I've got to be honest with you. Fast becoming a fave Shinobi song for me. I've got to be very honest with you. Just thinking though, imagine if you had the power to be able to make people stand still. You could move within the ticks of a clock. Imagine what you could get away with.
You could rob a bank.
Yeah, you could do a lot of things, especially with whipped cream.
Hey there.
Let your mind go wild with that one. You never know what you might come up with, really. But, excuse me, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, joined today, and very humbly, I'm absolutely loving this Makeout Shinobi and Standing Still. You're right here at Galaxy. Good morning.
You could actually let this one play in the background a little.
I could do. I'll just let the crew bring it up for me. We're about a minute delay on this. By the way, you're not a vegan by any chance, are you?
No, not a vegan. I love a good burger, good protein. Are you guys vegan?
No, we're meatahologists like you, but we're literally celebrating our 11th year yesterday. We turned 11 here at Galaxy yesterday. And for 11 years, I'm not kidding, I've been trying
Happy
to come...
Birthday. Happy belated birthday.
I've been trying to come to the bottom of a myth. And I ask everybody this because I'm still trying to discover it, but have you ever tried a vegan sausage?
Dude, I actually feel like I have tried vegan meat before for sure. Yeah.
Was it made of real vegans?
Oh. Honestly, it tasted so much like meat, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, me neither.
You ever seen the movie Soylent Green?
No, I haven't.
It's like this weird movie about like how all the meat that's served at fast food is like just chemical goop. I don't know, I gotta watch it, but it's crazy. American. I mean, I'm sure you guys talk shit so much about American food, honestly, because you know what it.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
so bad for us. Like,
We have to cook our own.
Yeah, we cook
Where
our
I
own. We
live.
don't go out for no, yeah. We really
I
don't.
don't live
fast
in
food.
near any shops.
Yeah.
No fast foods
Oh, I
here.
think the closest thing we've got is what, a Pizza Hut.
A Pizza Hut. I love Pizza Hut actually.
I think that's the most
We got
desirable.
plenty of pizza in New York City. We have so much pizza.
Yeah,
Here.
yeah. Believe me, it's
Yeah.
been a while since I've been there.
Uh,
Have you played at the Garden yet?
have I played at the Garden? Oh, not yet. I would love to. I can't wait for my. I need a few more years in the game. Just a few more.
Okay. Well, believe me, I have.
Oh wow.
Well, I've been an engineer for a band that played at the Garden.
I met the lead singer of Cigarettes After Sex. Me and him hung out.
Okay.
I don't know if you know the band yet.
Yeah,
They actually
no, I wasn't there for that. Yeah. Come on, guys. Where'd you
Beautiful,
go?
beautiful record. It's a favorite record of mine for sure.
Gosh, guys, where the heck did you go? Come on, you got to get onto it more than that. Paid help. I think they're after a pay rise or something, you never know. Today we're joined by Makeout Shinobi, and of course he's coming out of New York. And yeah, I actually have played at the Garden as an engineer with the band. Came out of Australia, actually had 4 letters to its name.
Whoa.
It's only a couple.
What was the name of the band?
In excess.
Oh wow.
I was the lead engineer for about 3 years.
Wow. It's amazing. How was the Garden? Was it
Lovely, absolutely fantastic. I got to be honest with you though, even though we did put on a real performance, the thing that followed us just blew us out of the water altogether, and that was a bloody WWE wrestling deal.
Oh.
They had a major wrestling thing following the night following us. Of course, we got free tickets to go and have a look. We thought we were doing all right with the crowds until we went and had a look at this, and it was just like, yeah,
massive. Yeah, it's massive.
It really was. Got to ask you though, and believe me, I'm a little. I don't know whether I should or not, but tell me a little bit about Trauma Club.
Oh, I'm so glad that you asked. I'm also wonder why you were nervous to ask about it. But
Well,
Trauma
the thing
Club
is, I don't want to step on any toes, if you know what I mean. But I am inquisitive.
Trauma Club is kind of so it's the name of the label that I'm signed to, but it's my label that we put together and that we started. So I started a label and I signed myself. I don't always talk about it, but it's kind of a if you know you know thing. So I started this label Trauma Club, signed myself, and it started a long time ago actually when I was like a teenager. It was just kind of this thing that I just kind of said that was my thing. I'm like Trauma Club is my thing, and as I got bigger as an artist, I decided to make it a bit more serious and more of a thing. And so Trauma Club kind of represents me and my fans. It's like the tether that I want to have between myself and my fans or my supporters. Like we are Trauma Club. I am Trauma Club. I have a tattoo on my shoulder that says Trauma. I got it tatted on my arm as a representation of how much I believe in it. Hope that it'll work. Decided to shed a little blood for it. But the trauma part is not supposed to scare anyone away. It's kind of because trauma bonds, some people may not have trauma, but I think it bonds a lot of us. And I think a lot of us have individual experiences that may not be the best, but they make us who we are. And so, that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted a place for that. And my music is supposed to be a place for that. It's supposed to be a place for, maybe those people who don't always feel the most positive feelings. And, I want people to find some sort of comfort in the music that I make, some sort of comfort in the fact that I'm making it because I want to express what it feels like to feel deeply in hopes that people who don't know how to put it into words, kind of have an outlet or something of the sort. So yeah.
Well, Shinobi, let me tell you, since we've been playing your music here at Galaxy, 1921 requests for take your own advice right now. So, these are words I hear from my wife every day. Go on, take your own advice. Tell me about this, please.
I'm so happy you asked about Take Your Own Advice. So Take Your Own Advice is kind of one of my oldest records at this time now. I made it when I was about 20, maybe even 19, because I made it before I moved to New York City. Back when I was still living in New Orleans. I was born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. And so the song Take Your Own Advice was, at the time, I was going through a huge shift in my life, and I felt very alone, and the song was meant to be taken very literal in terms of, I'm telling the story of two people who don't really know how to love each other the right way, and it's basically saying, like, if you think that I'm not the best for you, then take your own advice, and don't try to hold on so tightly to me and hurt yourself in the process. So that was at least where the song came from.
Absolutely fantastic. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, joined today by Makeout Shinobi, coming out of New York. Here's Take Your Own Advice. Gosh, it's hot. How you feeling, bro?
Feeling good. Sorry if I'm a bit wordy.
No. Absolutely brilliant. How many countries are tuned in?
165.
165 countries. How many cities?
Wow.
7,319.
7,319 cities around the world.
Jesus Christ. Whoa.
Yeah, we're in every English-speaking country in the world, and some that aren't. And, bro, I don't know how that works, but I'm going to take it. I will.
That's cool. I've been to London so far. That's the only place I've been on that side of the world.
Right.
And Paris. We went to Paris too.
London's a good place.
Oh, we like it.
I've spent some years there over the years, working in different clubs and places like that.
Yeah, I can imagine it. As an engineer, you probably had a lot of work in London for sure.
Yeah. And I have had the privilege of working in Abbey Roads. I have. And I've even worked in a place called the Cavern, where the Beatles first started.
Oh, wow.
Way back in the
I was told earlier, not to cut you off, I was told earlier that you guys are the first to see the sunlight in the world.
Mm-hmm. We are.
Wow.
We really are. And
that's very cool.
Yeah, so everybody in the world follows us.
Huh. I never knew that about New Zealand. I never knew that.
Something else you might not know. We're only 97 days away from anywhere by paddle boat.
Oh. Don't put your faith in me, take your own advice.
That's right, you're right, here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today we're talking to Makeout Shinobi, coming out of New York, and it's an absolute honour to meet this young man. It really, really is. I think he's got a huge career in front of him. Now, Shinobi, you got anything in the can? You got anything coming out in the near future?
So, this year I've actually released 4 songs so far, but I've released them kind of like silently. I've been rolling them out, just taking a little bit of time away from over promoting them and just kind of like letting them like be out there for my fans who are already kind of actively listening through my DSPs. They probably found these songs already, but I released a song called Mind Games like 2 months ago and a song called Almost Dawn about 20 days ago. And my next release is, I'm debating on what I want it to be, but I have my heart set on a record in the vault that's called Midnight Call. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I did just release a song called Almost Dawn, if you guys are looking for something more current to listen to. It's a slower song. It's kind of, but it's really, really, it's a beautiful listen. Very.
You
You want to
know,
know where I'm at sonically at this time?
I would absolutely love to continue our relationship and, of course, play anything radio worthy, if you know what I mean. We can't sort of have the swear words in there.
Yes, I understand.
Unfortunately, we are going out to the rest of the world, if you know what I mean.
Some of my music can be quite explicit. If listeners would definitely probably notice that by now that it's
Yeah.
some of it, not all of it, but some of it for sure.
Yeah, hence why I say if it's radio worthy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It is absolutely artist worthy around the world. So please go and check out Makeout Shinobi's work. And by the way, how do we download this? Where do we go to the website to be able to get hold of this? And more importantly, do you have a merch store online?
Oh my goodness. We would like to have our merch store up and running before the end of the year. I didn't want to rush into selling merch until I kind of knew exactly what I wanted to sell. I have about 100 t-shirts, almost 200 t-shirts behind me of actual merch that I am trying my hardest to get rid of. I would love to honestly have the fans be able to get their hands on some of those. And if you want to download the music and find the music, I'm on all DSPs. I'm on every single platform. Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, Amazon Music, YouTube, you name it, I'm there somewhere hidden in the algorithm. And yeah, but I'm hoping to sell merch soon because I really love I love clothes and fashion. So I'm hoping that the merch that I produce is a little bit more worth wearing for my supporters and for my fans.
Well, I tell you what, Shinobi, let us know when you've got it up. We'll give it the big promo for you and try and get some sales moving for you as well. Just one question though. How would you like to send me a t-shirt so I could wear it while I'm doing some interviews? Believe me, people go and have a look at what I'm wearing. Unfortunately, today I'm wearing Everclear. They don't need a promotion. They don't, but a band that I've worked with in the past, if you know what I mean.
So I'll do my. It'll be pretty easy for me to ship it to you. I'll orchestrate it with Rohan because he's better with things like that. But I'll show you what it looks like. If you give me 2 seconds.
Beautiful looking house too,
So,
by the way.
There are 2 shirts. Oh God. Sorry guys, you're getting a really explicit look at Shinobi right now. But here you go. These are the 2 shirts that we designed. This was the first one that just says Makeout Shinobi on it with kanji that we had drawn up by this Japanese artist. So it's specific to my brand. You can't like find this font on anywhere. The little kanji here, not the font up here. And it's supposed to emulate this movie Akira, this old anime, like one of the first like major huge animes or whatever. It's supposed to emulate that. And then this is the merch that coincides with the release of the Trauma Club project. And it says Trauma Club here at the bottom with kanji, with another kanji that was made by the same artist, and the kanji says Trauma Club.
You know, I'm kind of torn, to be very honest with you, because I absolutely love that, but I like the other one as well. So, you know, I'm kind of torn.
I'll send both. I'll send you both. No, I'll definitely send you both. I'll send you as many as you need.
Okay, well, I tell you what, I'll get Barbara to give you all the details about that a little later on, if that's okay.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. We'd be happy to send you guys.
Brilliant, because I would really be honoured to wear your brand while I'm doing these interviews. And
yeah, we had them made by somebody who is kind of in the area. So I used to visit the studios while they were making them. So they're very personally made. So I hope you enjoy them.
Yep. Absolutely.
I get very hands-on with all my art, honestly. Everything I make and produce, I want to be very hands-on.
Nice. So that does bring us to the end of this interview, but please don't go anywhere because I've got a couple of things I want to talk to you about as well. Take a couple of pickies, stuff like that, so Barbara can put it all in a movie for you, and you'll probably receive that tomorrow. Now, normally I say, you know, friends and family, they'll love it automatically because it's you, right? So I usually say, show it to somebody you don't like. If you ever find such an animal, you know, because normally, would you believe, artists show them to other artists, you know what I mean? And before you know it, I've got another artist getting in touch with Barbara because I don't think 200 submissions a day is enough. She should be working harder. So
Oh.
believe me, they get in touch with Barbara, and before you know it, we're doing more interviews and with people you know, as well as the rest of the world. You know what I mean? So we'd be very, very honoured to have you show that around. In the meantime, I got to thank you so much. One last question is, will you come back again?
Oh, what? Oh, yes, of course, of course. This was my first radio interview, and I really am honored that you guys enjoy the music and wanted to have me, and so I would love to come back.
You
And
know,
also, you're funny and full of jokes, so I would love to hear more of your humor.
you don't want to hear my dad jokes. But anyway, but I tell you what, my friend, didn't realise it was your first radio interview, so you did well. You did good.
Yeah, this is the first one, so I'm definitely honored that you guys decided to have me.
Well, I tell you what, I'll give you some numbers of how many devices were tuned into this once we're finished. And believe me, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, today we were joined by Makeout Shinobi.